Hey everyone, Austin here again. It's been a little while. Today we're going to be doing a live tutorial on F-14 Tomcat. I believe I had actually already posted a gameplay only video. I actually ironically did a tutorial video first, looked at the footage, realized my capture card was messed up, so I had to throw away that session. And then I did a straight gameplay video, no commentary afterwards. Had a pretty good game, 9.2 million with one extra ball. Almost rolled the game. It caps out at 99999. But yeah, we're gonna do a tutorial live on the spot with actually a different camera angle. Usually I just do a straight top down, but I decided to go with more of an angled setup to differentiate it from the last one. So hopefully the wireform rails don't get too much of the way. It looks like they are, but it is what it is. F-14 Tomcat is slightly busy on the upper part of the playfield because of that. Not as busy on the lower part of the playfield. So yeah, F-14. I'm going to actually explain some basics first before we jump into it because this is a jet-themed game. When you start the game, your jet engine revs up and it gets really loud, and it's going to be kind of hard to hear me over top of it, or at the very least, kind of irritating. So... but yeah, when you plunge in this game, the ball always goes up into your lock shots here, and then it'll kick back out at you. It's a very fast and furious game. Now, this specific machine actually isn't too bad to control. We have the flipper set relatively high, and so it's not too hard to trap up here. And yeah, still have to watch out with what you're doing though. This is, no matter what F-14 you're playing, it's not an easy game, period, but some are obviously going to be set harder than others. This one is set, I'd say moderately. It's not too hard to control. But yeah, you've got one of your core main objectives in this game is to start multi-ball. That is where the biggest points are in the game. Now, it is possible to pick up points elsewhere and get some, like, for instance, end of ball bonus can be worth a lot. But for the big scores, it's really focusing on your multi-ball jackpots. Now, you are going to have a lot of multi-balls in this game where you just drain most of your balls instantly. You get back down to single ball play, then you're out, and then it's a little bit of a grind to get back to multi-ball. So that can be a little disheartening when you play this game. But yeah, if you can really play out your multi-balls, you're going to get some really good points. Your first jackpot is somewhere around 150,000. Your second jackpot is somewhere around 250,000. And then your third jackpot, I think, starts at a base of 7 or 750 or something like that. So just 3 jackpots back to back will get you about 1 million points in this game, which is good points. And then the jackpot cycle just resets, so it goes back down to the lowest value, then medium value, and then the highest value. And you just want to try to rinse and repeat, and it's literally just the right shot over and over and over again. So it's repeatable. It's not too hard, but again, you get some bad bounces, you can get right back down to single ball play, and then you're out of multi-ball, and then again, disheartening. So that's your main goal. To light your locks, you have to complete the Tom and the Cat letters. There's actually 2 sets of each. 2 sets of Tom letters, T-O-M, on the bottom and the upper parts of the playfield, and 2 sets of Cat letters, C-A-T, on the bottom and the upper part of the playfield. You do have 4 flippers on the game. Yeah, 4 flippers. So you got to watch out where the ball is up top and make sure you're aiming for those targets deliberately with the upper flippers, not just flailing about, preferably. But yeah, you've got 2... or I guess technically 1 orbit. It's like a mini orbit. It goes on the inside of those upper flippers, and so the ball will come back down towards the bottom flippers if you don't flip up top. And so you can try to bang on those targets up top. You feed the ball into the upper orbit, and then you hit those targets from the upper flippers. Or one thing I love doing is hitting the orbit up top, and then just letting the ball come back down and doing a live catch on the bottom and getting the ball back under control. That's another really good strategy. You can stage the upper flippers, which is very, very useful in multi-ball. If you're playing multi-ball and you got 4 balls going about, you really want to get them under control on this game because they can go crazy up top in particular, and you can get unpredictable drains. And so you can stage your flippers and just not flip and let the balls come down nice and straight, so you can try to trap them up and then go from there. You have a couple of other important things. You've got a kickback on the left-hand side here, typical Steve Ritchie design. This is a Steve Ritchie game. Now, if you use the kickback, it goes out immediately. You've got these rescue targets directly up the middle, and they are actually indicated by a roving yellow shot. And if you hit the roving yellow shot, you'll relight your kickback, and that is insanely important because the left out lane on this game is the drainiest part of the playfield. Yeah, you get some straight down the middles, and you get some right out lane drains sometimes, but the majority of the drains are going to happen on the left. So you need to, once you use that kickback, if you can get the ball under control, priority number one always is relighting the kickback. So hopefully we can put that into practice here. You do have these targets on the outer side of this bank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you hit the roving one that's lit, it'll actually light your spinner for, I can't read it from here, it's 1,000 or 2,000 points a spin. I want to say it's 2,000. Our spinner, unfortunately, is sitting flat. We might get 1 or 2 spins. It's nothing special. We haven't been able to fix it. We've tried. But that spinner can actually be worth something if you've got a good F-14 where it actually spins quite a lot. So that is kind of important to know. I don't go for those targets intentionally, but the ball will oftentimes just bounce into them. You'll get your spinner lit, and if you can rip that spinner, it can be some good points over the course of a playthrough. If you hit the switches on the upper orbits, or if you hit the either in lane, you'll light that side for bonus X increase, and you can go up to 8 times end of ball bonus, which is indicated on the left hand side here with these orange or red lights. Your actual bonus value, end of ball bonus value, is on the right with these blue inserts. And end of ball bonus can be big in this game. It takes work, it takes a really good ball, and it takes 8x bonus, but you can get close to 1,000,000 points for end of ball bonus. Once you spell Tom and Cat, and you hit those targets, you'll light your first lock. Actually, I think the first time on default settings, you'll light your first 2 locks for the first targets at completion, and then you'll have to do it one more time to light your third lock. You collect all of those locks, and then a multi-ball will be lit on the right saucer. Now, once multi-ball is lit and you complete the targets again, you can actually light the multi-ball start on the kickback here. So underneath the upper left flipper is a kickback shot. It's actually the kill shot. Every time you hit it, you collect a kill, which is down here with these white inserts. You get all the kills, you'll light extra ball for your final kill, and you'll kill this guy called Yagov, who's apparently the big bad guy in the game, if you're a pinhead that likes story for some reason. But yeah, if you go up underneath that upper left flipper, there's actually a kicker. It'll fire the ball straight back at you. It's kind of scary. It's just like Iron Man or Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. Very satisfying shot if you hit it. But yeah, that's how you can collect an extra ball. I want to say that on certain settings, if you get 8x in the ball bonus, I think that'll also light extra ball. But we actually have that disabled because I think we were getting just too many extra balls in this game, especially with how not easy the game plays. I mean, it's still F-14 Tomcat. It can be really mean, but yeah, I don't want my games going forever. So I'm trying to think of other things to talk about. You do have hurry-ups if the ball hits the in lane. So not only do you light your opposite advanced bonus multiplier, but it'll light the outermost shots for a 50,000 point hurry-up. A little risky to do and a little hard to do because there is a little bit of flipper ball hop here. So basically the ball rolls down, does a little hop before it gets nice and smooth onto the flipper, which really screws with your aim. If you want to aim well on the fly, you really need a nice clean feed. But unfortunately, this game does have a little bit of flipper ball hop, which makes it a little difficult. Still possible, still doable, but more challenging than it needs to be. The last thing is when you lock balls up top, they actually stay in these holes here. If you have to plunge another ball back out, if these holes are all taken with ball locks already, it'll say watch out or something like that, and the ball, or I should say the ball that's in the hole that the other ball is going to go into will actually kick out. So you need to watch which side the ball is coming from, because that'll determine which orbit the ball is going to actually come back down from. So you do have to be very on point with this game, otherwise it'll just kick you in the nuts and beat you while you're down. So that's F-14 Tomcat. But all right, let's go ahead and hit that start button. We'll go ahead and play, and hopefully we can do decently here. Unfortunately, I had a decent game in my first tutorial that I had to trash, but maybe we'll have another one. I don't know. So, all right, we're going to plunge. It's going to take us up to the top, and it's going to spit the ball back out. What I'd like to do on the plunge is just hold my flippers up because the ball comes out really fast from that kicker. So let's go ahead and plunge. It's going to come out to the left, so just hold that flipper up just like that. Let it bounce over. And then let's see if we can back in that spinner. Got it. So there's actually a switch behind the spinner, and that was a really bad first ball. Instead of saying, hey, say goodbye, that was terrible. All right, let's try that again. So plunge. It's going to come back to my left flipper up top. Now, one of the cool things about the upper orbit is you don't have to just hit your in lanes down below to light your advanced bonus multiplier. Just hitting the switches up top will do it as well. And I definitely like to try to pick off as many bonus X's as I can, because again, bonus can be somewhat large in this game if you have a good ball. So if I'm trying to say roll the game, I definitely want my bonus X up there, because rolling the game will be partially dependent on getting 800 to 1,000,000 points in end of ball bonus. Now, unfortunately, even though I had 4 or 5x bonus there, I still only got about 70k because I didn't have a very good ball. Now, I'm not sure how bonus is calculated, but I can only assume it's just based on switch hits. You get more switch hits, and the bonus just builds and builds and builds. But we did get our first set of Tomcat letters, which qualified our first 2 locks. And if you drain and you get the ball back on the plunge, you can actually lock those balls for free. And you do get some points for locking balls. If you can lock multiple balls in a row, you get substantially more points. So it might be like 15 or 20k, and then like 30k or something, and maybe like 40 or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating the values. But I mean, that adds up if you're playing in, say, league or some form of competition or something like that. All right. So I need Tomcat again. And generally what I do in the beginning is I try to go for the upper targets. I only go for the lower targets if there's only like one target left that I need. So I only need T, so I can go for the T on the bottom and miss, and that's game. That was an absolutely horrifying game. To not even start multi-ball is just insanely bad. Like, you need at least one multi-ball when you play F-14 Tomcat. If you don't get that, you know you've done really badly. So let's just go ahead and try it again. I hope this doesn't turn into a Jungle Lord situation where I just play for an hour and get pretty much nothing. That was a horrible gameplay session when I did Jungle Lord a while back. I have since sold the machine, and as much as I like Jungle Lord, I kind of don't miss it after that video. So again, because I use my kickback, priority number 1 is to relight it, and I prefer hitting that leftmost target. It seems to be the safest, but ideally what you do is you get the ball on the left flipper and you try to clip the target on the left so the ball continues to go up instead of flying right back down towards you. And that was just a rookie mistake on my part. Alright, we're going to go for our bonus X, and I missed. That's fine. Bounce. Try it again. And I missed again. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and try to qualify our third lock while we're at it. So we have our first 2 locks lit, and that's fine, but I'd rather just get all 3 lit if possible. And I need the C and the T. So let's go for the C. I got it. Now I need the T. Now the bottom targets are a little tough to hit, and the lights behind the targets also kind of like blind you from the target, so it's kind of hard to gauge where the target actually is. I need to hit it late on the flipper to get that bottom T, and I missed it again. So another strategy is just try to send the ball up top. The problem with sending the ball up top is, for one, that can happen. But 2, the ball can just whip around that upper orbit really, really fast, and it's hard to be accurate with your shot. So sometimes it's just better to shoot the targets on the bottom because you can be more consistent with them if you can actually aim correctly, unlike me. Alright. It says heads up. There we go. Got it. Alright, so my third lock is lit. Got it. We're going to plunge and multi-ball will be lit. Now, on default settings, the multi-ball will always be lit after you lock your third ball. On the second multi-ball, you'll have to actually complete Tomcat one more time to light your multi-ball start. Try to live catch. It wasn't a live catch, but I actually was able to get it under control, and that's all that matters. So what I generally like to do is just try to get the balls under control before I do anything. It's okay, 4-ball multi-ball, just let one drain. We're going to go ahead and try to hit our jackpot. Alright, there's one. Now, if I have 2 balls on the right, what I'll do is I'll play it nice and slow. I'll just be really patient here. Stage the flipper just so I have a little more control over where the ball goes. Okay, just get the balls under control again. Let it drain, that's fine. Now I could go for the kickback, which I'm going to do, because I don't trust this game. I really don't trust this game. Okay. Try to get the balls under control, keep them under control. There we go. Alright, just be patient, go for the locks again. And I missed. Okay, just keep it under control, try it again. Got it. Now, if I want to get greedy, I'll try to get this last jackpot. Got it. Now, this is the big jackpot, 859,000. Now, I'll try to get these balls under control again. And that is not under control. Bounce. Oh, that was horrible. Nope, it's not going to give it to me. Well, that wasn't the worst thing ever. We got 3 jackpots, which gave us a little over 1,000,000 points total. And so now I'm back to the grind. My kickback is lit, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go for the upper targets right now. Now, another fun goal is trying to go for your kills. Like I said, you get it all the way up, you can get an extra ball. But I'm way too far away from that, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. So let's go for those upper targets. Now, you can backhand your shots up there. So, you know, hit that orbit from a backhand, which actually slows the ball down. If you're on an F-14 where the flippers sit a little high like this, it's entirely possible to backhand those shots, and that might be the better strategy because the ball's not as wild when you're backhanding the shots. And there's actually one interesting thing about the bonus X in this game. There's actually a teensy tiny bit of grace period if you, you know, if those lights go out. Oh, now I actually probably could have saved that from the left-hand side, but I wasn't able to gauge that. Those are some of my worst drains and worst saves, is me not registering that the ball is going to actually end up being closer to the opposite flipper when I think it's, you know, in that case, I thought it was going to be closer to the right, but at the end, it was actually closer to the left. And so if I slap saved from the left, the ball might have actually flown up that right in lane. And I'm still really bad about recognizing that on the fly. So, still not an amazing game, but at least I got a couple of jackpots. What did we end up at? About 2 mil? Was that 2 mil? I don't know. Let's see. Unfortunately, typical System 11, yeah, it's a little over 2 mil. So, I mean, if I was in like a league or a tournament or something like that, that wouldn't be horrible, honestly, because F-14 can be a ball buster, and it can be a very challenging game. Especially if you were, say, playing on the one at the Papa facility back in the day. You know, some F-14s could just be really, really, really tough. And this one, while it's fairly easy to control the ball, it's still F-14, and you're still going to get the shaft occasionally. So, but we'll go ahead and try it one more time and see what happens. Thankfully, it's not a super complicated game. And if you want to see a better gameplay session of this game with no commentary, I have one that I uploaded just prior to this. Again, I almost rolled the game on that gameplay. You see a lot of good saves and stuff like that, some good multi-ball juggling, lots of multi-ball jackpots. I kill Yagov and get the extra ball. I get my bonus up all the way. I hit a lot of lower targets in particular. So, again, if you want to see some better gameplay, I would go check out that video. But for those of you trying to learn this game, hopefully, you know, this tutorial has been helpful to you so far. So, all right, let's see what we can do in this last game. Hopefully, it is something a little more exciting than 2 million. All right, let's go ahead and plunge. It's coming out to the right. Going to go ahead and just hold the flipper up, just like that. Try to trap up. And let's go for the backhand. Now, I actually should have went for the forward hand, because I actually need those red targets more. So let's go ahead and backhand the left orbit. And I missed, and that's okay. As long as the ball stays up there and I get some shots from the upper flippers. Now, I did actually notice that my upper right flipper is actually aligned differently than the upper left flipper, so that's actually not really throwing me off, but it is kind of important to know. You really have to look at the flippers to see the angle of them. I'm going to go for the C on the bottom. Bounce it. Also, the pop bumper up top is actually a little weak, and from what I understand, that's actually fairly normal for F-14. Let's go for the lower C again. That was way too late that time. I need to try to adjust my aim on the fly. Now, these slings are a little sensitive too, which makes hitting those shots a little difficult. Like if I miss and the ball comes back down, it's going to be hard to get it under control because the slings are sensitive. The ball's going to pop back and forth. Let's try it again. Thankfully, the post pass works quite well. And that was a nice miss as well. Try it again. Got it that time. Okay. Nudged it a little bit. So now that I've got all three locks lit, I can go ahead and just lock a ball, and it's going to let me lock the rest back to back. We're at 275, so that was... Okay, that was about 25,000 points for that one ball. Let's see what the second one is. We're at 302 right now. Enemy 2 locked. Another 25k, so you're looking at 50k for 2 locks. And then ball 3. That was 327. Okay, it looks like it's actually just 25k a lock. So now I don't know if that's because I got 3 locks back to back, or if the value, like, you know, is only that when you only have 3 locks back to back. It might just be 25k a lock, even if you just have 1 lock. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're behind in a competition, you know, that was 75k right there. So let's go ahead and plunge. Again, it's going to kick another ball out. It's going to give me a heads up. Bounce it over. Normally, I try not to do bounce passes on this specific machine because the flippers like to absorb the impact. But impact absorption is going to be much less on the upper fatter part of the flippers. So I knew it was going to hit the upper fat part and it was going to bounce right over. So if it was going to hit the bottom though, or the thin part of the flipper, it would have to come down really fast for it to not absorb all the impact. If it's a slow roll, I have to flip or try to live catch or something like that. So that's why you don't see me bounce passing a ton on this game. It's more about live catches and whatnot. And you know what's funny about this game is that I get very few weird like side-to-side angles to where drop catches work. I very rarely ever drop catch on this game, which is really interesting. So anyway, let's go for our multi-ball start on the right. Now, if I wanted to get fancy, I can complete the Tomcat letters again. And by doing so, you'll light multi-ball start on your left kickback shot, the kill shot. It'll say rip off. And the benefit to doing that is when you start multi-ball on the right, the ball is stuck there for a little bit. You have to wait for the animation and light show to happen. If you hit the kill shot, the ball flies back at you and you're in multi-ball right away. And you can collect the jackpot before the other balls even kick out. So, just something to keep in mind. Alright, we got it. Awesome. And the first ball always comes out towards the right flippers. I'm going to try to live catch. Kind of like that. Get the ball under control. Alright. Nice. First one. Just try to see what happens here. Get the ball under control. Stage in the upper right flipper. Okay, couldn't do anything about that. Let's go ahead and pop this one back. Bounce over. Nice, that's ideal. All right, go for our next jackpot. And that was, I shot way too early there. Okay, get it under control. Just bounce it back. Nice, perfect. All right, jackpot again. Got it. Now I'm going to post pass. Try to get this next jackpot. Got it. Now I got the big one. 781. And again, the jackpot's just reset now. Oh, that was horrible. I was trying to get this ball under control. The other one kicked out and just caught me completely off guard. So, alright, now we're basically back to the grind. So we just do the same thing over and over again. Let's go for the backhand. Got it. So the ball's nice and slow. Gives me some good aim. Ooh, nice. I think I got a tilt warning there, so I have to be careful now. The tilt is on this game. Alright, we're going to do the backhand again. Just like that. Get that upper blue target. Got it. Alright, so our first lock is lit. Oh, that is our second tilt warning. Okay, we have to be really careful now. We're going to try to backhand the left orbit. Got it. Alright, our second lock is lit. I really don't want to tilt because I've had a pretty good ball, and I'm at 7x end of ball bonus right now. Now, I really wanted the 8x, but we're probably going to get about 600,000 or 700,000 points in bonus. 600. So, not too shabby in end of ball bonus. Got the replay. You get a really nice light show with the replay. This game does have 3 beacons. It's a lot like High Speed and High Speed 2, whereas those games had 1 beacon. This one has 3 different colored ones, so it's really cool. Really fun light show. Steve Ritchie games are always really good with the light shows. Alright, so let's go ahead and plunge again. We're going to be able to lock all 3 balls. So we're at 726, 2 mil and 726. So we're 751, so it's 25k. And we're at 76 now, so yeah, it's just 25k a lock. So that's not too shabby. You get 75k for locking 3 balls. That's easy points right there. Alright, heads up, it's coming out from that side. Bounce it over. I knew that would bounce because it was a fast roll. And I went ahead and backhanded the right orbit because the bonus X was lit. I'm not going to try to bounce that. That was too slow. Bounce. That was a fast roll, so I knew that was going to bounce. Now, I could go for the lower tom targets, but I'd rather go for the upper ones because there's 3 lit. I, again, only do the lower targets if there's just 1. And it looks like completing this next set will actually give me my, my multi-ball starts. Oh, it's a bad drain. You know, I said the ball really likes to go out the left, but it also likes to go out the right. It would be nice if there was a kickback on the right. The game might be leaning a little bit to the right too, which doesn't help. Now the game's not, if it is leaning, it's not doing it a lot. It's not an obvious lean, but you know, if you're playing on location and a game is leaning heavy, you're going to notice that the ball is going to veer towards that out lane. Like if there's a, you know, a suction thing there, like a vacuum, just bringing that ball to that side. So, all right, ball's coming out that side. Hurry up. Got it. So I got a free 50k for getting that hurry up. If the hurry ups are lit, a lot of times I go for them because they're fun. And you get 50k if you get a bunch of them over the course of the game. I mean, that does add up. And that was horrible. So I got, I think, 3 right out lane drains on this game, which was absolutely terrible. But that's F-14 Tomcat. So unfortunately, we couldn't really have a great game. We had a really good ball 1. But the other 2 balls were just not that great. Again, if you want to see a better gameplay video with no commentary, just go check that out. I'll try to maybe link it in the description here. So check out the description and just click on the link. You can go check that out. But yeah, that's F-14 Tomcat, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show off the kills, which I'm really disappointed because in my first failed recording, I did everything on my first failed recording. It was a really good tutorial. I was really happy. It was concise, and this is why if you're recording pinball, not just pinball, but if you're doing anything video-wise, you test your footage first before you go and actually do your session. And I always do that, except for today, because I just assumed everything would work. But everything, not everything, but some things just did not work, unfortunately. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel and you like live tutorials like this, or even post commentary tutorials, which is what I used to do, but I'm lazy now, so I just try to do them live on the spot. Feel free to subscribe. I've got a lot of videos like this going back, man, close to 10 years now. It's been a long time. This channel has really covered my pinball journey from when I really first couple of years I started playing to now, where I'm a little more experienced and whatnot. Yeah, feel free to do that. For everyone already subbed, thanks for your continued support. I appreciate it. Sorry it takes so long to get these videos out. It's just really inconvenient right now. I only have 2 machines in my apartment. One of them I've already covered, which is Williams Flash, which I'm probably not going to do another video on that. But I've got an old one, live tutorial, if you want to check that out. And now F-14 Tomcat. So I've got that knocked out. It is a little troublesome to try to bring the rig out to live locations. There's a lot of a lot of places I go to, there's a lot of copyrighted music and stuff like that, and that gets triggered in YouTube's content ID system. Then I get copyright claims on it, which isn't all that much fun. And it's also noisy because they're basically bars and people are constantly chattering and whatnot. But I haven't really reached out to many people recently to record in their home collections. I think I'm going to start doing that again. Any of my local friends watching, feel free to reach out to me if you want to set something up like that. Some other people I will try to just reach out to directly, but yeah, if you're one of the locals, which a lot of my locals actually watch my videos, which is pretty cool. If any of you guys have pins and you want them recorded and put here on my channel, I'd love to do that. Yeah, but yeah, sorry, uploads have been so slow. It just is what it is. It's hard to access a lot of games, and when I only have 2 games that I've pretty much already covered, it's hard to crank out videos on a regular basis. And it's hard to justify live streams of something like F-14 Tomcat. Live streams can get really tedious, and something really simple like F-14 Tomcat will get boring on a live stream within the hour. But yeah, so that's why you guys haven't seen a ton of content from me lately. I also focus on my video game channel, where it's a lot easier to crank out content and things like that and do consistent live streams. Pinball, it's a lot more difficult unless you've just got the collection and you can rotate games out a lot, and you've got access to other games and location without it being too much work. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you sooner rather than later. So yeah, I guess until the next one, take it easy.